I had had difficulty walking and getting out of bed and muscle cramping, and it was terrible. And I just assumed that it was because I turned 40 and I was getting old, and that's what happens.
These patients don't realize that their reduced exercise capacity, their decreased function in overall in life isn't aging. It's just because you had an underlying misdiagnosed, undiagnosed issue that sometimes unfortunately kind of gets blown off as, well, you're just aging. You'll get used to it.
As a geologist and a nonprofit director, I need my legs. I noticed that things were not going well before the treatment from Dr. Chohan, and had things continued, the end stage could have been disability. He took a look at my chart and he said, we can treat this. And I was a little bit surprised because previously I'd heard it was a very complicated case, and this is a rare disease to begin with, like an incidence of 1 in 100,000.
That's where I take my pride in, is finding areas that were missed, knowing my skill sets there to sort of take care of the problem, and then giving patients like Dr. Stokes a second chance at living their life to the capacity. It's just a beautiful thing to witness. And I think it's incredibly important for somebody like Dr. Stokes, who is a valuable member of the community, to have that sort of function back.
It can be challenging to find the right doctor to treat the right condition. And Dr. Chohan's expertise is incredible. It was exactly what I needed.
You can kind of see the tangled network of vessels, kind of intense blush, and then you get that early draining vein, that diagnostic for the AVM. So what we end up doing, we kind of get into this vessel, we get these smaller guys, and we deliver some liquid in bulk to shut down this whole network. And when you're done, you're kind of left with this, and you have to believe me, but this is where the AVM was, and we don't really see it filling anymore. It's all gone. We stent this lesion. It's pretty straightforward, and once we stent, then this narrowing is much more improved, and we don't have this horn collateral filling. And so placing the stent here, it's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it here. You place that stent, and then the compression point, the stenosis is gone, and it relieves their pain.
I feel like I got another shot at life, right? Like how many opportunities do we get, right? And for me, it was like, well, what's going to happen here if I don't get this procedure? I may end up in a wheelchair, unable to walk. Eventually, I may lose function in my legs entirely, and that was, really not something I wanted to think about. And so, I'm grateful for Dr. Chohan's training, for his knowledge, for his technique, and his attention to detail, both when I was on the operating table and then in follow-up appointments.
Some people are more conservative and saying, just give it time, you'll get better. My practice, we're more aggressive. We want to stent, we want to take care of it, we want to open up the veins again, we want to give you that capacity back, because we know that's what really helps. It's not relying on time, it's not relying on your body to handle, because when it does handle it, sure, it can kind of create new pathways and collateral veins, and you can return to some baseline function, but you're not going to be 100% with that conservative management. It's taking the time, it's understanding the patient, what the patient wants, what they need, and where they think they can go. And if you find that patient that is like, yeah, I can't do the stuff that I used to do, something is wrong, well, let's look into it, and if we have something to treat, we will.
He's very direct, but he's also very personable, and I think in medicine those are two great characteristics, right? Directness and also just friendliness. And so he was able to explain things in terms that I could understand. He gave me some things to read when I left the office, and he stayed in communication both before the procedure and after. He's really easy to get a hold of, which is amazing. If you've ever been to any medical practice, right, the bigger they are, the harder it is to get a hold of a doctor, but that's not the case here.